Had a guy pull up to my place last spring in a Chevy Silverado, 4 years old, 55,000 miles. His tire shop told him his fronts were almost bald, quoted him $1,100 for a full set. I looked at his truck. The fronts were done, worn smooth on the inside edges, but the rears still had plenty of life on them. He didn't need 4 tires, he needed 2, and he wouldn't have needed any if he'd spent 20 minutes twice a year doing one simple thing nobody told him about. A set of 4 tires costs $600 to over $1,000 depending on what you drive. Trucks and SUVs, you're looking at $1,200 easy, and most people are replacing them way earlier than they have to, not because their tires are bad, but because they let them wear out wrong, uneven. One side bald, the other side fine. Front's gone, rear's still good. That's not a tire problem, that's a maintenance problem. And it's one you can fix yourself for about $15 in supplies and $0 in labor. 3 things control how long your tires last: rotation, pressure, and alignment. 2 of them you can handle in your driveway. The third one you need a shop for, but only when you actually need it, not every time the tire center tries to sell it to you. The tire shops know all of this. They just make more money when you don't. Here's what's killing your tires. Your front tires carry more weight than your rears because that's where your engine sits. They also handle all the steering and most of the braking. Every time you turn the wheel, every time you hit the brakes, your front tires are taking the punishment. Your rears are just rolling along for the ride, so the fronts wear out faster. That's not a defect, that's physics. On a front-wheel drive car, it's even worse because the fronts are also doing all the accelerating. They're steering, braking, and pulling the car forward. They're doing 3 jobs while the rears are doing 1. Without rotation, your fronts will be bald while your rears still have thousands of miles left on them. That's exactly what happened to the guy with the Silverado. His fronts were destroyed. His rears were fine. If he'd swapped them around every 5,000 to 6,000 miles, all 4 tires would have worn evenly, and he'd still be driving on them today. That's your first killer, no rotation. The second is pressure, and I covered this in a previous video, but it's worth repeating here because it doesn't just waste gas, it destroys your tires. When your tires are underinflated, the edges of the tread carry all the weight. The center lifts off the road, so the outside edges wear down fast while the middle still looks fine. When they're overinflated, the opposite happens. The center bulges down and wears first, while the edges stay fresh. Either way, you're wearing out one part of the tire while the rest still has life in it. A tire that should have lasted 60,000 miles is done at 40 because only a third of the tread surface was doing the work. The third killer is alignment. This is the one that sneaks up on you. Your wheels are supposed to point perfectly straight and sit at a precise angle to the road. When you hit a pothole, clip a curb, or just drive over rough roads for long enough, that alignment shifts. Sometimes just a fraction of a degree. You can't feel it. The steering wheel looks straight. The car drives fine. But 1 or 2 of your tires are now dragging at a slight angle instead of rolling clean, and they're scrubbing rubber off one edge every single mile. That inside edge wear on the Silverado guy's front tires, that was alignment. His tires weren't worn out evenly. They were chewed up on one side because his front end was pointing slightly off. A $75 to $100 alignment 2 years earlier would have saved him $1,100 in tires. Nobody at his tire shop mentioned that either. Here's how you can check this yourself without paying for a diagnostic. Get down and look at your tires straight on. Run your hand across the tread from inside to outside. If one side is noticeably smoother or lower than the other, you've got an alignment issue. If the car pulls to one side on a flat, straight road when you let go of the wheel for a second, you've got an alignment issue. If your steering wheel sits slightly crooked when you're driving straight, you've got an alignment issue. Any of those signs, go get it aligned. It's $75 to $100, and it'll save you the cost of a full set of tires. But don't let the tire shop sell you an alignment every time you walk in for a rotation. If the wear is even and the car drives straight, you don't need one. Rotating your own tires is one of the easiest things you can do on a car. If you changed your own oil after watching my last video, you already have the tools. Jack stands, and a lug wrench. That's it. If you bought ramps for the oil change, you'll need a jack too, since you have to get the wheels off the ground. A basic floor jack is $30, and you'll have it forever. First thing you need to know is your rotation pattern, and it depends on what kind of car you drive. If you have a front-wheel drive car, and most sedans and crossovers are, the pattern is simple. Your front tires go straight to the back, same side. Your rear tires cross to the front. Left rear goes to right front. Right rear goes to left front. That's it. If you have a rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive truck, it's the opposite. Rears go straight to the front, same side. Fronts cross to the back. Left front goes to right rear. Right front goes to left rear. If you have all-wheel drive, the most common pattern is a full X. Every tire crosses. Left front to right front to left rear to right front, right rear to left front. One exception. If you have directional tires, the kind with a V-shaped tread pattern that has an arrow on the sidewall showing which way they are supposed to spin, those can only swap front to back on the same side. They cannot cross. Look at your sidewall. If there is an arrow, keep them on the same side. Now here's the process. Park on flat ground. Set your parking brake. Loosen all the lug nuts on every wheel just a quarter turn before you lift anything. Do not remove them. Just break them loose while the weight of the car is holding the wheels still. Trying to break a lug nut loose on a wheel that's hanging in the air is how you knock your car off the jack stand. Lift one corner at a time. Jack it up. Put a jack stand under the frame or the designated jack point. Your owner's manual shows you where. Take the wheel off. Set it aside and keep track of which position it came from. Mark them with chalk or tape if you need to. Do the next corner. Once you have two wheels off, swap them according to your pattern. Put the lugs on hand tight, lower the car off the stands, and then torque them down in a star pattern, not a circle. Star pattern makes sure the wheel seats evenly against the hub. Had a neighbor, retired school teacher, 62 years old, never touched a car in her life. She watched me do this once and asked if she could try it on her Camry the next time it was due. I stood there and supervised. She did all four tires in about 35 minutes, including the time she spent double-checking the pattern on her phone. She's done it herself 3 times since then and hasn't paid for a rotation once. How often should you do this? Every 5,000 to 8,000 miles. Easiest way to remember. Do it every time you change your oil. Same schedule, same tools. Might as well knock them both out at once. You're already under the car anyway if you're doing a do-it-yourself oil change. One more thing. While the wheels are off, Take 10 seconds and look at your brake pads through the caliper. If the pad material is thinner than a 1/4 inch, you're getting close to needing new brakes. You just gave yourself a free brake inspection that a shop would charge $50 for. No appointment, no waiting room, no upsell. So let's talk numbers. A tire shop charges $20 to $75 for a rotation. At every 5,000 miles on a set of tires that last 60,000 miles, that's 10 to 12 rotations over the life of the tires. Even at the low end, that's $200 you're handing someone to do a 30-minute job you can do yourself for free. But the real savings aren't in the rotation fee. The real savings are in the tires you're not buying. A set of tires that should last 60,000 miles will last 30 to 40 if you never rotate them, run them at the wrong pressure, and ignore your alignment. That's an extra set of tires you're buying every 3 to 4 years that you didn't need to. $600 to $1,200 gone because nobody told you to spend 20 minutes in your driveway twice a year. Rotation, pressure, alignment. 2 of those are free. The third is $75 when you actually need it. Add it all up, you're looking at easily $1,000 or more over the life of your vehicle just in tires you didn't have to replace early. That's not a guess. That's math. I've been running the same set of tires on my truck for over 5 years. Rotate them every oil change, check the pressure every month, and got the alignment done once after I hit a nasty pothole on Route 60. They've still got life in them. $15 in supplies and a little bit of your time. That's all it takes.